Hello everyone, this is Kat and welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to talk about my recommended games for the Steam Summer Sale. But first a quick reminder, on the Epic Games Store, you can get yourself 2 free games every single week. And currently it's AER, Memories of Old, and Stranger Things 3, the game. I haven't played these, haven't installed these, I've just grabbed them for free, and they're just sitting in my library until I ever do want to play them. So that's it, we're gonna go into here. And the first thing you're going to notice is the point shop system. I'm going to go into that stuff. I'm just going to go into games that I recommend and games I say avoid. Fallout 76, big avoid for me. 50% off isn't even that much for 76. Uh, it has been around for cheaper. People even strap the hard copies, which are only discs with redeemable codes anyways, so it's still kind of an online copy for free onto other products and everything. So yeah, no. In here, EDF5 is a decent option, 50% off, but I would say prioritize Borderlands. If you already have Borderlands and you want to have a looter shooter, consider this one, although this one doesn't have a storyline compared to Borderlands. There's also like Jurassic World here for quite a bit off, Grim Dawn for quite a bit off, and there was also Euro Truck Simulator, but currently just changed the layout compared to the last take I had for this, because I'm re-recording this one, because it was getting a bit lengthy. Need for Speed, still expensive, don't really go for that one. So let's go into all of these. Most of these I'm gonna skip over. Assassin's Creed, very interesting games. I really liked Black Flag, especially because of the ships. I haven't really looked into any of the other ones, but maybe pick one of these because they're only like they're less than 10 euros for the older ones. And definitely quite a lot of fun to go into if you want to be an edgy assassin. The Fallout franchise, um, there are some stuff that is quite uh, discounted. I'm just gonna check Fallout 4 real quick. Fallout 4 is $8.99, and yeah, that goes quite a long way. And if the game with your edition is 18 euros, then you get all the DLCs alongside with it. It's a decent option, but if you want to have a storyline game, I have a better one in a second. So there's Fallout, Assassin's Creed. Those are decent options. Again, I'm gonna skip over the most of these. Oh wait, one back. Borderlands. If you already have Fallout the free games from the Epic Games Launcher, you should already have Borderlands, like the entire Handsome collection. You should already have GTA 5, Just Cause 4, Watch Dogs. You should already have those. So that's why I'm also kind of skipping over these, but it is discounted as well. As you can see, you're 67% off for all of these. I already have all of the stuff in my library, so yeah, there's that. But they are all discounted, so maybe consider that. Borderlands 3 is 50% off as well. So if you really like Borderlands, maybe now is the time to pick up Borderlands 3. But I think there's a few better ways to spend your money right now. And one of the big ones is gonna be, where is it? Here it is. Witcher. Witcher is a very story-driven game, kind of like Fallout and Skyrim and etc. etc. And it has a lot of playtime to put into. Like the game of the year is 15 euros. Very, very good option to go for. Note, of course, at 30 euros, you're going to get a €5 discount, but it has to be 30 flat. So at 14.99, if you get two 14.99 games, you're at 29.98. So you won't be at the 30 euros, so you won't be getting that €5 discount. That's something to keep in mind. So you're going to have to get something for at least 16 euros, basically, in addition to this, if you're picking it up. But that's pretty much fine, honestly. So I was almost at the end, so I'm gonna go backwards. So yeah, The Witcher. franchise and then the Assassin's Creed franchise. Those are two that I really recommend. And then lastly, the one that I really recommend is gonna be on my wish list, and it is Distance. For the Accelerators fans, you guys can get Distance for 70% off at €6.29. So you would be able to pick up The Witcher, Distance, and like an Assassin's Creed game, and then something else to hit that €30 mark. Get €5 off. So basically, your distance would be €1.29 if you buy all the other games as well. So like, kind of see it that way. Even though the deluxe edition also has a soundtrack and an art book, only a slight bit more. But then I am going to go into a little bit of things to avoid. Um, some of you guys have seen me play Dreadnought before. I love this game to bits, actually, and this bundle, for example, is 80% off from 70 to 14. I mean, 70 was absolutely insane, and I would have never bought it for 70. And at 14, it's actually a good deal, in my opinion. But the problem is, Dreadnought right now is a dead game. It's an online PvP game that doesn't have any players to play with. So yeah, if you don't have any players to play a PvP game, what you're doing here? At first, it was a really enjoyable game. You could get most ships pretty quickly, and then at that point, it was mostly like finding the best loadout for your ship more than anything else. But now it's just a grind fest with like 5 different variants of the same ship. But then the fifth variant is just has higher hit points and higher damage per second than the first version. Don't go for Dreadnought. Kind of same with Crossout, honestly. At this point, if you want to get into Crossout right now, I am just honestly gonna have to say don't, because all the rich players are so rich they can afford pretty much anything, and the length of the grind is so long that I'm just gonna say no. Same with the 50% off stuff for War Thunder. Not really worth it, because these vehicles, while they're pretty fun, they are basically useless beyond your first week of playing, because they're tier 1 premium vehicles, and you're not gonna get anywhere with those. So yeah, that's mostly it. Oh, actually, City Skylines is also 75% off now. I notice it. So I would actually suggest picking this one up as well. I really love playing it. It's a lot of fun to build the cities, although in general I cheat with infinite money, to be honest, because I just want to build and don't want to manage the city as much. So yeah, my recommends to get for like the roughly €30 budget would be City Skylines, The Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition, Distance, and any of the older Call of Duty games. Note that Witcher does require a decently beefy computer. Uh, the Assassin's Creed's a little bit less so, because they're older, and because of them being older, of course, they have less demanding graphics. City Skylines doesn't really need good computer, and Distance, as far as I know, doesn't need good computer either. But that would net you about like 15, and let's say 7 for Distance would make 22, and then City Skylines another 7 for 29, and then another 7. So 36. Well, 35. Let's make 35 for all of those games, and it will go down to 30 after the €5 discount. So again, if you have a budget of €30 and you want to have some games that at least I would be interested in, basically, in my playstyle, and I know you guys. There's a bunch of you guys that actually watch like all my different games. A lot of you are here for only one specific game, but those are really definitely good options. And lastly, one I'm gonna double check is Generation Zero. How much off that one is? Generation Zero is 50% off. It's a game I enjoy as well. 50% off is a decent amount. 47% off for the entire bundle with the 2 DLCs. You don't need the DLCs to play. One of them basically gives you access to an island that has higher difficulty enemies and a bunch of story quests. And because the higher level enemies, you do get better loot there. That is a thing. And the Phoenix Rising DLC gives you access to a bunch of quests, and that's pretty much it. So you really don't need those to get like throughout the entire game. There's enough side quests and storyline quests in the main game to keep you busy for quite a while. It's a decent pickup. I wouldn't prioritize it over the ones that I mentioned before, though. So if you, let's say, have like a budget of €50, then consider. Thank you, Windows. Okay. So yeah, if you have a budget of 50, I would say consider picking up this game. But other than that, prioritize the games that I mentioned earlier. And that's mostly it, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I got for you guys. The games that I was the most interested in getting. If I missed out any really sweet deals, do make sure to comment down below. I would say overall, avoid any game that is less than 50% off, and avoid any games that are very, very old. In like, for example, The Sims. Um, you could have gotten it for way cheaper by now than 50% off. Like, what are you even doing here? Don't know why they still want to sell this. Also, it says that it's released in 2020, even though it's a 2014 game. I don't know. Don't go for Sims. It's not gonna be worth that money. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. I'm generally gonna be saying avoid all the big AAA titles, like the Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc. All the older ones are in the online play are gonna be mostly dead because all of the actually hardcore fans have moved on to the latest version. The latest version is gonna be more expensive. So yeah. Other than that, I think that with these that I have selected, you're gonna get an absolute humongous amount of playtime. Like you would be able to play 8 hours a day for the entire summer vacation and still not complete all of the stuff in these 3-4 games that I suggest getting you guys. But yeah, do hope you enjoy. Do make sure, of course, to check out these games on YouTube, etc., before you buy them to make sure they are something you are interested in the first place. For example, while I say Witcher's really good, it's absolutely not my playstyle, so that's why I'm actually probably not gonna pick it up myself. But I do know it's an absolutely amazing game, so that's why I'm just pointing it out for you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next one. See ya!